my air impact gun. First time, 10, 15, I don't know how many years I've owned this thing. Doesn't matter what you do, it doesn't want to shut off. So I figure it's down this trigger stuff here. I've never had it apart, but I do know there's some tabs here. I don't know how. That didn't feel too good. Clamp onto that nut. I might have to get a different screwdriver or something to blow them out so I can see the metal. I don't think I want to clamp it quite that tight. Okay, malfunction. Hey boy, look at this. That looks swell, huh? So here's that metal washer. Now this retaining clip, is it supposed to have that much play in it? I have to clean all this up and look at it. It looks okay, other than, looks like these ought to be sprung out some. You know what I mean? Like a little wider. Try to get that right off of there. Now remember how all that goes on there. Goes in between here and here, and the clips go down. We can take that washer off there now. And then we got this mess. First thing I'm going to do is wipe it off. Seems like it's all intact there. Wonder if maybe our trigger. It actually looks okay. Now see, there's a little, I don't know if you can see this or not. See, there's a little hole, like a hook on the end of that. And that hook goes over top of this pin. And whenever you push a trigger, it just so anyway, we'll clean all this up, and I want to put this in something. You can take this apart here. But I think that's where my problem is. Somewhere in here. Okay, so I just rolled that O-ring there up off of there. Still feels pliable, and after I wipe it off, it still looks okay. Just want to wipe all this off. See, there's a C-clip or a clip in here, and I need my snap ring pliers. We can take that off and then take the center out, and then we'll take and wash this out real good. But I'm thinking the way it was doing, and I wonder if maybe when I put that gasola on there, could I've got a chunk up in there. Now you can buy the clip separate. You can buy this whole piece assembled just without the air fitting. You can buy it like that. Pretty much every part of this gun you can buy. I think I've seen everything. I ain't sure about this front barrel, but I'm sure they sell that. Now you might have as much in it as you would buying a gun, but I'm thinking about getting a rebuild kit and trying to just take this whole gun apart and clean it up. This thing's old, it's never really been cleaned, but there is a grease fitting. Until it gets used a lot. I have before. Put some in there. Takes a regular special grease, I guess, for the hammers. So let me get this in a vise. We'll get a vise up on here so I can set this up. That way you guys can see whenever I pull this apart. Maybe I'll try to zoom in a little more. Okay, let's see what we end up with. Take this snap ring out of there. Now that does have a spring under there, I believe. But I don't know how much spring. I don't think it's enough that it's going to go flying. Let me try another pair. Let me try these ones. Okay, so we got the snap ring out. Now, this should just come up out of there. So there's that part. The little flange goes up. Let's see how I can get the rest of that out of there. I might have to go get me a flashlight. What you guys can see. But there's that little plastic thing around the outside edge there. That's why I gotta try to get up out of there without messing it all up. I went and got this 90-degree hook. Looks like I've already got it boogered a little bit with a screwdriver. Here it comes though. Worst comes to worst, I gotta buy a kit. Which I might have to anyway. Okay. Let's see how bad I screwed this thing up. Got a few little things in there. Probably not the best thing for it. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. See where I poked in with the... Oh well. If it don't work, it'll come apart easier the next time. Here's that little spinner wheel. Which probably seals onto that somehow. That's what I'd say. That fits on there whenever you pick that trigger over. Yeah, whenever you do the trigger, push it over, I bet that's where it's where it seals right there, and then when you move that pin over, it lets air through. So I'm betting, because there's pieces missing that I didn't take off. I'm just wondering if that ain't the problem right there. Looks like there's a big gouge. I don't know if you guys can see this or not. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but there's a chunk missing in there. And I'm betting you that's where the air is leaking from. There's that little spring. And there's this tube. But yeah, I would say this piece right here is where my problem was. Because I know I scratched the face of it right there. But I know I didn't take that chunk out of it. And there's like a chunk right there missing. All the way around there. So I guess it's going to be a kit. Put some brake clean in here. You just took that paper towel in there and rubbed it around. It pretty much came clean. If this thing's all rusted up on you or something like that, you can buy this whole piece already put together. That'd be the easy way of doing it. I bought a whole kit, rebuild kit. But all I'm going to do is this part right now. I took these parts out of the kit that I'm going to need. And when I put these pieces in, I put just a little bit of air tool oil on them. There's all the old stuff in the gun laying there. Like I say, I'll go into the rest of the gun. Put this together now. Remember now, this thing here goes up through. And that's what makes it seal. When you push the thing, it comes over. Now, I watched a video about putting the trigger in. We're going to go ahead and try something. Worst I can do is bend this arm. But I don't think we'll do that. I just want to wet my fingers with air to oil. Let's see, the spring went in there. And this thing went in there. And this thing went in there. Okay. The problem you're going to have is I need to get my ring ready. My snap ring pliers. Don't forget that little piece. Okay. Yeah, don't do like me. Try to forget a piece. So one side of this is coned. And the other side's not coned. So the cone goes in, then this. If you had this in a vise, it'd free up one thing you're doing. It's going to be I think I need a screwdriver. I got this little one here. You guys probably can't see what I'm doing. I'll try to push the ring down. Probably an easier way to do this, huh? I think it's in. Try to move a little bit. Make sure we're in. Let me get a flashlight. Getting old, can't see. And yes, it's in the ring groove all the way around. And this moves. So what I want to do next, we'll bring the gun over here. Everybody says I got another O-ring for that, but I think it's in that kit, but I don't think there's anything wrong with this one. So again, just put a little bit of air tool oil on it. A lot of people say to put this in, and once you get it in there, you put it halfway or whatever and line that hole up and push this in. I watched a video from Ingersoll Rand, and they just pushed this right in, and it went right past it and clipped right in there. So we're going to try it. Like I say, worst comes to worst, I've got that thing messed up and I got to use the old one or something. So before we do that, we got to have this metal ring on there. That metal ring needs to go on before this clip-on thing here does. And then I believe right here is where the O-ring went. I think that's where the O-ring went. And I got some oil on my fingers still. Any little bit of oil will make that slide in there a lot easier. Now we'll put this clip back on. I got it upside down. The clip goes like... Does the clip go down? No, the clip goes up here. Seems like if I put it on down here and snap it on, it does better. So now I think we can just put this right in here and line them grooves up. And why'd that happen? I don't know. Hopefully it goes back together. Not like I do this all the time. Or does that go? Maybe because the clip has to go in the front? I don't remember. Do you remember? That seems to make a difference there. Except for it don't go in. What in the crap? Ah, okay. Yeah. That's in there like that. That's right, I think. Maybe I'll never get it together. I don't know if you guys can see or not. Why does that do that? See, I don't know which way it goes. To be honest with you now. you tear things apart. Yeah, it looks like it goes on there good enough. This ring here has to go in there. Will I ever get it back together? Someone's probably laughing, thinking, man, if you just do this. Or is this something telling me I should put the trigger in first like everybody else does? Yeah, I seen that guy. He didn't have none of that trouble. His stuff went right together. How can that be? What am I doing wrong here? There. That's better. I can see the tang on each side trying to stick through. So that's good. Now, is it true what the guy said? Let's see if we mess something up here. Feels like it went right in and popped in there. So now the true test is, let's put air to this thing after my 20 minutes of... I don't know why that clip, it should have just slid right up in there. But it should have. Okay, let's see together. It's either going to work or not. It's not running, that's a good sign. Fixed. Alrighty. Like I say, we'll go through the rest of it with this kit later. There's a special grease that goes in these, and I don't know where mine's at. So I got more coming. And we'll do this. This might not be that bad either. The clip goes to the back. The solid part of the clip is how it went back in. I'm happy. She works again. Really all I needed was this one simple gasket. So remember, the bottom is flat, but the top has that bevel for the little cone. So we're back on the road again. So we got the tube. Your air fitting goes up in there, and then all this top is just combed out to hold that and be able to seal the thing. So that's basically just a tube. And then the spring will set down in the tube. See, one side's bigger than the other, so the big side will fit down in. And then you have this little guy here. See how it has the little notches all the way around it to let the air through? You know, if not, it would just plug that up. And then this piece just sets on there. And this piece right here is what seals to this. Okay, so that's like that. And that's where you're supposed to be sealing at. And I'm not sealing, that's why the gun's staying running. And then whenever you pull the trigger and you move this pin, what happens is it opens up a gap. So what happens is whenever you pull that pin with the trigger, pull it over, it actually opens this up, breaks the seal, and lets the air flow through there. And then when you let off the trigger, this goes back together, and that's what seals it. So definitely this is my problem right here. So if your gun doesn't shut off, you're going to need a rebuild kit. Now I can buy just the trigger parts here and the spring. I can buy that stuff. I can buy a kit also that has that and this trigger in it if I want to go that route. But I might just go ahead and buy the whole rebuild kit and use what I need for this. And then, or I might just take the whole thing apart and clean it up. I might just put it together and take it apart and clean it up later.